Welcome to Survivorman. Can Krug survive 5 days and 5 nights in one of the deadliest places on the island, the swamp? The rules: default rates, max wild dinos, no explorer notes, no leaving the swamp, and if you die, you start all over again. Five attempts, 5 days, 5 nights. The challenge begins here. Could you survive the swamp? All right. It took me a second to get here. Maybe not totally fair, but we are here in the swamps, 6061, and we are going to begin grinding and figure out where we're going to set up shop at. I kind of want to be in an area that's got land mostly. That's going to be pretty safe. If this thing's high level, it's going to get us, and our first attempt will be over quick.
Barely 10 seconds into the challenge, a Dilophosaur attacked. It was hardly the most dangerous creature Krug would encounter in the swamp. After taking a few punches, it decided retreat was the better option. But that encounter wasn't really about the Dilophosaur. It was the swamp's way of saying, "You're on my time now." With the immediate threat gone, Krug got to work.
There's that Dilophosaur trying to come back and sneak up behind me. We're not going to allow that to happen. I think I want to build right here.
The Dilophosaur hadn't gone far. When it returned, the first threat of the challenge became Krug's first real opportunity. Meat meant food. Hide meant
wood.
progress.
Oh, good. Second level. This one's going straight to melee damage. I think we're going to need to do a lot of melee damage here. That's big. I'm actually not as worried about hide in this challenge as I have been in the past. I think we're going to build right in here to this rock. This is our spot right here. This rock, I'm assuming, is not hittable. Oh, it is. That's not good. We can't build into a hittable rock. My heart's already beaten. It's only freaking just begun. In real life, frogs definitely bring snakes. We'll see if in fake life, in the ARK life, if that's the case. Definitely don't want to get in a spot where a snake can find me, but could be something we don't want to. What is this thing? Can we not hit that? Something big's over there, too. I just heard something big. I really want to get this house. I want 2 more. Come on, let me craft some more. Oh, we got to get ready. Okay, get ready. And attack.
Another Dilophosaur soon provided more of both, hide and meat. And the early pieces of the plan began coming together. A place to build, a source of food, the beginnings of a shelter. It was still early, but the area appeared to offer almost everything he needed. Water and fiber were plentiful, and there were enough creatures nearby that meat and hide might not become immediate problems.
Definitely nervous.
Resources were everywhere. Unfortunately, so were the things that wanted to kill him.
There's leeches. I've never spent much time in the swamps. I've never really cared for the swamps. The swamp is not the biome that I really enjoy playing in. Something's coming this way. Let's just hope it's something that's hopping and not slithering. Oh, I see something slithering away.
Before long, a snake slithered off into the brush.
Okay, that's good.
Krug accidentally struck a beelzebufel while gathering.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry, Frog. That was an accident. Come on, Frog. That was an accident. It's gonna get me. I don't know if this is cheating or not, but... Oh, it shot me.
That was nearly a disaster.
Oh, and there's a baryonyx over there.
And nearby, a baryonyx was already fighting another snake.
That's not good.
That was life in the swamp. Danger didn't always come looking for Krug. Sometimes he simply wandered into the middle of it. Still, the early progress was encouraging. The foundations were down, a fire was burning, the first shelter was beginning to take shape. Then the greatest threat of the opening hours arrived without teeth, claws, or venom.
Yeah, my health is dropping.
The heat.
All right, let's go. We got to figure out how to cool down. Let's go back to whence we started. See if that can cool us at all.
At first, the solution seemed obvious. Get into the water and cool down. That didn't
Not
work.
good. If our health keeps dropping, we're going to have a problem. We are in trouble if we don't get another point here. I think we need to get another level. We need to put more in fortitude. We need more in fortitude. We've got a real problem here.
As Krug's health continued to fall, berries bought him time, but they did nothing to
let's
solve the
eat.
problem. He kept gathering, he kept crafting, he kept searching for an answer. A point in fortitude seemed like it might be enough.
Hopefully that'll help. Let's throw you down here as well. I need one more level. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Be enough.
But it wasn't.
Nope, that didn't solve it. That did not solve it. I think we're going to die because we're going to be too hot.
The heartbeat grew louder, and his health kept dropping. Suddenly, the shelter was no longer something Krug wanted to finish before nightfall. It was something he might not survive long enough to complete. Every solution had made sense. The water should have helped. Fortitude should have helped. Neither one did.
We're going to die. We're not going to be able to finish. Oh wait. Stay right here. Don't move.
Finally, with the roof beginning to cover the shelter, Krug stepped into the shade. The heat subsided. For the first time, the hut became more than another objective on a survival checklist.
We're insulated by the house a little bit. Oh, that's good.
It had already saved his life. It was an important lesson.
My health should be going up. It is. Okay. That's a good thing. Let's throw these down here too.
Krug had arrived expecting the creatures of the swamp to be his greatest problem. Instead, his first real brush with death had come from the swamp itself.
All right, so we're going to need some more roofs. Let's go ahead and place the doors.
With the immediate crisis over, he gathered what he needed to finish the roof. That was when another reminder appeared in the distance. A giant Sarco.
That's much bigger than that could wreck us fast.
It wasn't close enough to force a confrontation, not yet. But in the swamp, distance only provides temporary comfort. The Sarco didn't need to attack to become part of Krug's thinking. From that moment forward, every trip outside came with another question. Where is it now?
That's what I'm worried about. Things like that. And just like the past, we have a plan to survive. That's our plan. It's the only plan we really have at this point.
Krug completed the shelter and added a way to reach the roof, giving himself a better view of the area around him. It offered information, not safety. Seeing danger coming isn't the same thing as being able to stop it. Still, the progress felt real. The shelter was standing. Krug was already level 8. Somehow, only a few hours into the first attempt, the challenge was beginning to feel manageable. Perhaps even easy.
We're almost to level 9 on our first try. So maybe the swamps aren't as hard after all. Or maybe I just found the best spawn point in this game. Or maybe I've just gotten better at this. Let's go with what really it is. It's most likely the spawn point is just not as hard.
That is the strange thing about confidence. It rarely arrives because the danger has disappeared. It arrives because the danger hasn't succeeded yet. Krug continued gathering and expanding the hut. Even something as simple as building the shelter required constant adjustments. Walls had to be moved, stairs had to fit, every little mistake cost time. And on official rates, time usually meant more resources. Neither could be wasted. As the first day slowly gave way to dust, Krug reached level 11.
Oh, the bow and arrow. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do one more in fortitude to be safe. Better safe than sorry. And we don't have enough because we need the slingshot. That's not good. I want to undo some of my choices, please. Like the narcotics and the mortar and pestle. That was dumb of me.
The bow and arrow were finally within reach. It was one of the challenge's biggest early milestones, a weapon that could create distance between Krug and the things hunting him. But earlier Ingram choices had left him without enough points to unlock it. The bow would have to wait. It wasn't a catastrophic mistake, not yet. Survival is rarely decided by one enormous fail. More often, it's decided by small decisions, whose importance only become clear when it's already too late to change them. Then, while Krug was simply standing near the shelter, something bit.
There is a... Oh, what is that?
A leech had attached itself to him.
What is that? What got me? What bit me? What is that thing on the bottom there? What's going on? That's never happened to me. What is happening? Is my health... Am I dying? I am. Why, though? What is going on? What does that mean? What got me? Okay. I do know this. I don't know much about this, but I do know this. Let's throw this in here. And let's light this thing up. Perhaps I got a leech on me.
The solution was not elegant.
Okay, get off of that. Holy moly.
Krug stood in the campfire. It nearly killed him. The leech didn't survive either.
Okay, it's going back up. I think I had a leech on me. Any chance to put meat in the fire? No. Holy moly. Okay, well, we gotta watch the leeches.
Sometimes survival looks heroic. Sometimes it means deliberately setting yourself on fire because something worse is attached to your body. Either way, living is living. Night had arrived. Krug was still alive. With the immediate needs handled, he even took time to collect metal near the edge of the swamp.
We can't go too much further up this way because that is considered out of the swamp. So we have to be aware of that. Like, we can't really just go up to there because up there is out. But down here, right along the water's edge, is still very much in the swamp.
That was a change. Only a few hours earlier, every decision had been about surviving the next 5 minutes. Now he was collecting resources for tomorrow. Past midnight, with the first night behind him and the swamp still unable to finish him, that confidence continued to grow. We began talking about completing the entire challenge on his first attempt.
Guys, if I survive this and unlock the badge on my first attempt, then I'm going to have to suggest that perhaps this spawn point was just too easy. Or I just got really lucky with the dinos in the area.
Perhaps the swamp had been overrated. Perhaps surviving 5 days and 5 nights would be easier than expected.
That's just what I keep saying.
The swamp had attacked him within seconds. The heat had nearly killed him. A leech had forced him into his own campfire. A giant sarco was still patrolling nearby. And somehow, surviving all of that had convinced Krug he was starting to figure the swamp out. The swamp hadn't become safer. Krug had simply become more comfortable inside it. Morning arrived with something Krug hadn't felt since the challenge began. Routine. There was just one problem. Food. Berries could keep Krug alive for a while, but they were never going to be enough. If he wanted to survive 5 days, he needed a reliable source of meat. Then, without warning, a baryonyx wandered up to the front door. Not nearby, not somewhere down the shoreline, right outside.
Oh, there's a baryonyx right outside our door. Hi, Mr. Baryonyx. Where'd you come from?
Just like that, the shelter stopped feeling like protection. It became somewhere to hide.
Awesome. Not really. At all.
A pterodon landed nearby. Under normal circumstances, it would have been an easy kill. Easy meat, easy hide.
Oh, come on. Right now would be the perfect time. I got my bola. But I can't let that thing's way too close. Way, way too close.
But opportunities only matter if you can survive collecting them. So, Krug had to
I
wait.
have wood in here? I have more wood, don't I? No, I'm basically out of wood. Oh my gosh.
That was another lesson the swamp was teaching him. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is nothing at all. While the baryonyx stood guard outside, work on the shelter continued. Thatch slowly gave way to wood, and although progress had slowed, it hadn't stopped. It had simply changed. Hours passed. The sun still hadn't risen. Around 4:20 in the morning, the baryonyx finally wandered away. Oddly enough, that wasn't much of a relief. A predator you can see only controls one part of the swamp. A predator you can't see could be anywhere.
Where did the berry go? Because he was just right here. Kind of squinting. Not quite daytime yet, so it's a little bit hard to see. What time is it? It's 4:20 a.m. I feel like I am just being watched by ARK, just waiting to see what it's going to do next. I really want to know where that baryonyx went. It's actually kind of freaking me out that I don't know where that baryonyx went. There he is. There's Barry. He's not too far.
Eventually, Krug spotted it further down the shoreline. As daylight broke, the swamp looked completely different. The thinning of trees made it easier to see farther into the distance. Unfortunately, they also made it easier for everything else to see him. It didn't take long for the baryonyx to return.
There's two of them. They're right on the edge. They're right within the range. They're getting a little too far up. Oh, there's baryonyx. He is so quick. Get in your house. Get in your house. Oh, man, I'm nervous now. See, this is the problem. And now we have a real problem. We are going to run out of food here.
One fight with a baryonyx would end the challenge, and Krug wasn't about to force one.
Thatch fiber wood. Oh, and that's good too. That's good over there.
Then things became even more complicated. Across the swamp, another Sarco appeared. Now, it wasn't just one predator controlling the area, it was two. Then, the swamp changed the rules again. Fog rolled in. Visibility collapsed almost instantly. The predators hadn't gone anywhere. Krug had simply lost the ability to see them.
But I don't know. Oh, he's killing something. Oh, good. And we got fog coming in. That's perfect. That's awesome.
Then ARK reminded Krug that sometimes the game creates dangers no one could predict.
There's nothing over here. Barry, go somewhere else. Oh, hello.
A snake slithered straight through the wall of the hut.
Can I kill it while it's right there?
The same shelter that had saved him from the heat, the same shelter that had protected him from predators, couldn't stop a snake. Fortunately, the snake was more interested in attacking the house than attacking Krug. From the safety of the window, he managed to kill it. The reward was immediate. Meat and hide. Two resources he desperately needed.
Give me that meat, give me that meat, give me that meat, give me that hide.
Even the swamp surprises could occasionally work in his favor, but those moments never lasted long. Eventually, survival asked the same question every time. What's next? Krug already knew the answer. More resources. So he headed back out, this time toward the trees on the opposite side of the predators. The routine felt familiar by now. Gather, head home, check for the baryonyx, go back out. Everything was going according to plan. Until it wasn't. Stopping for a few extra bushes didn't seem like much of a risk.
I really wish one of those megalotheriums would eat me.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Then, out of nowhere, a level 4 Sarco came charging through the swamp. There was no dramatic buildup. No final warning. No chance to recover.
Oh no! No, no, no. No.
Just one brutal reminder of the lessons the swamp had been teaching since the moment Krug arrived. You don't lose because you stop respecting the swamp.
Oh, I didn't even see it come up. I didn't even see it come.
You lose because for one moment, you stop paying attention. And attempt number 1 was over.
I was like, on day 2, I was like level 20 something, 18 or 19 or something. I didn't even see, and it was such a low level Sarco. I needed to just be able to switch and think faster. Oh, that's brutal. Brutal.
The first attempt had proven something important. The plan worked. Not perfectly, but it worked. Krug hadn't died because the strategy was bad. He died because eventually the swamp found an opening. So the solution seemed obvious. Go back,
We begin.
follow the same plan, just do it a little better. This time, Krug stepped into the swamp with something he hadn't had before: experience.
And so our attempt number 2 begins. The swamps. I'm going to do the same. I think I want to build in the exact same spot I just did. I want to do basically the same thing I just did, except for this time better. Because last time that was really bad. We can just hope that as I break this tree and kind of get around here. Just remember there's a tree here when I'm desperate for wood and fiber and I don't know where I'm at. Alright. Oh, it was going so good too. I felt like we were doing so well on the last one. Okay, a Phioma is in my area. That's okay.
He already knew the priorities. Find stone, craft the basic tools.
Alright, let's get to work. Let's get to work. What do we need? Thatch and stone.
Build the shelter, stay alive. At least, that was the plan. The swamp had other ideas. Finding stone took longer than expected, and before Krug could gather
gotta be some
everything
stone
he
around here
needed, a
somewhere.
baryonyx wandered into the area. Not ideal, but manageable.
Okay. We still have yet to get stone. Stone is a problem right now. Okay. Where's my stone at? Come on, pick up some stone. Oh, there's a baryonyx. Right there already.
He simply turned and headed another direction.
You just stay over there, Barry. I'll stay over here. We are going to have a problem with that baryonyx. Guarantee it. Can I hit it? Can I hit a stone?
Then he found a Carno.
What if we come down this way a little bit more? Let's come down a little bit more. That last one there, that baryonyx. Oh boy. That's not good either.
All right, go the other way.
There is
Another Carno.
no... Oh, and there's Carnos over there. There's nowhere for me to go.
Within minutes, every path forward had become another path into danger.
Yep, that's it. Attempt number 2 is really over, really fast.
Attempt 2 is over. The first attempt ended because Krug made one small mistake. The
Carno.
second ended because the swamp never really gave him a chance to begin.
All right, attempt number 3.
The first 2 attempts had already taught Krug an important lesson. Survival wasn't just about building a shelter. It was about building it in the right place.
Okay, here we are. Attempt number 3.
Until the swamp forces you to decide where the right place actually is.
We need to find a rock. We did not find any rocks last time, and that was bad. We're going to put this one in fortitude because we know it's going to get hot.
The overall plan hadn't changed. Gather the resources, build the hut, stay alive. The problem was finding somewhere to do it.
Maybe I got a little too complacent with my starting zone. Maybe I thought we were just a little bit better than we were.
Stone was difficult to find once again, but that quickly became the least of Krug's concerns.
Okay. I think I am going to... Oh, nope.
Across the water was a Sarco.
What if we go... Let's just stay along this way. Let's just hope and pray, hope and pray. Because if it comes over here, we are done. I think I want to build over here this time. There's an alpha something over there, though, that... I want to build into this rock, maybe.
Farther down the swamp stood an Alpha Carno.
We need to see what that is. We need to know. Like, we're early enough. If you die, you die. Holy Hannah, that scared the snot out of me. We're going back to our little spot over here. There's an Alpha Carno over there. I really like over there. I kind of want to build over there. But not if there's an Alpha Carno that's going to come wreck us once we get settled in here. We have to figure this out. I mean, we had such a good start. That cannot have been a fluke. Right? I really kind of want to build over there. Let's go back this way and just... Nope, there's the Carno already over here. It's already over there. We're not going to be able to build there. We need to think about a whole different zone. What if we build right where we did last time and just hope and pray?
Before the attempt had really begun, Krug was already trying to figure out where survival even seemed possible. At first, the left side looked like the best option. Then he started second-guessing himself. Maybe the original location was better. The first foundations went down. Then they came back up. Krug changed his mind more than once before eventually finding himself right back where he had started. Looking back, I don't think that was wasted effort. The more dangerous an area becomes, the harder even simple decisions feel. Eventually, the debate ended. No location was going to be perfect. It just had to be good enough. Once that decision was finally behind him, progress came quickly. The shelter came together. A roof overlooked the swamp once again. For the third time, Krug had managed to carve out a small piece of safety in a place that seemed determined not to allow it. Then something unexpected happened. Nothing.
Since it seems to be pretty safe over here, let's zip this way.
The Sarco stayed in the distance. The Carno never wandered over. The pressure that had defined the earlier attempt slowly faded into the background. The swamp hadn't become safe, it had simply become quiet. And those aren't the same thing. Quiet always has a way of changing how you think. Every minute without danger starts to feel like proof you've made the right decisions. Every successful trip outside the hut makes the next one seem a little safer. There was still one problem. Food wasn't difficult to find. Hide was. Without hide, there was no bolas. Without bolas, plenty of opportunities would remain just out of reach. Then, finally, something wandered into camp. A lone Dilophosaur.
Oh, there's that guy. I want that guy to come chase me. But I want it to not be a level 100 and something.
Wasn't much of a fight, but it was exactly what Krug needed.
Come on, go, 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 go. Whoo, that gave my heart's going. That gets me going every time. You just never know. You could be walking into something you don't want to get into.
A little meat, a little hide. One more step forward. Back at the hut, a buzzing insect caught his attention. Only for a moment. He wandered after it, then quickly lost interest and turned back. It didn't seem important. The mistake wasn't following the insect. The mistake was forgetting where he was.
Come here. I'll take you out. Just kidding. You ran away? No worries. I'd rather you ran away. All right.
For just a few seconds, Krug stopped paying attention to the swamp. The swamp never stopped paying attention to him. By the time he reached the shelter again, a Sarco had already found him.
Holy Hannah.
The walls should have protected him. That was the whole reason for building them. Instead, the attack came straight through the structure.
I don't know that I got my... Oh, he's level 26. I can get him. Well, not if I do that. I can't. Oh, come on. He got me in my house. That's baloney, ARK, and you know it. That's baloney. All right, well, that was it for tonight. You ate me in my house. That's baloney. I want instant replay on that. That's baloney. Attempt number 3 is dead. Will now be attempt number 4.
There wasn't a clever strategy to save the situation. There wasn't another lesson waiting to be learned. There was only disbelief. Sometimes survival stories end because someone makes a bad decision. Sometimes they end because nature is unforgiving. And sometimes they end because ARK is still ARK. Let's begin. All right, this is attempt number 4, Survivorman. 3 months. That's how long it took before I was willing to return. Attempt 3 hadn't ended because of a bad decision. It hadn't ended because the swamp outplayed me. It ended because ARK reached through a wall and reminded me that sometimes the game itself becomes part of the challenge. It was a frustrating way to lose. Now remember, Survivorman, we do play a little different strategy. No, we can't leave the swamp area. No killing dodos, no explorer notes. All difficult settings. But frustration eventually leaves you with a choice. I'm going to build right here into this mountain. Walk away or come back a little wiser. I'm going to build right here into the mountain. 3 months later, I came back. The rules were exactly the same. Survive 5 days and 5 nights. We need to go hit that tree. Nothing else mattered. The strategy, however, had changed. The shelters had all been built too far into the open. This time, Krug decided to build closer to the cliff face. It wasn't guaranteed to be safer, but survival rarely comes from finding the perfect solution. Most of the time, it's about making odds just a little better. The opening hours felt familiar. That had become one of the hidden challenges of playing on official raids. It becomes harder because every tree you chop down and every rock you harvest pushes the next trip a little further from home. Little by little, surviving forces you deeper into danger. The hut wasn't just getting bigger, it was getting smarter. For a while, the swamp simply watched. There was no desperate retreats, no predators forcing Krug back inside, just enough quiet to let real progress happen. If anything, the silence almost felt suspicious. The longer nothing happened, the more it felt like the swamp was simply waiting for the right moment.
But you can't go up there to the green, to the grassy area. Oh, here we go. It's our chance. No, die, die. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
A Pagomastix finally broke that silence. Normally, it would have been nothing more than a nuisance. Instead, it became dinner. Not every encounter in the swamp had to end in disaster.
Is that a compy or is that something else? I think that's something else. That's one of those terror Trudons, Trudoons, which I don't think I'm quite ready for if I could barely take out a Pago.
The shelter continued to grow. First a roof, then a second floor, eventually a third. Somewhere along the way, the project stopped feeling like a temporary camp and started feeling like a home. The earlier attempts had all been about surviving the swamp. This was the first one that felt like living there. The confidence wasn't reckless. It had been earned. The higher roof made it easier to watch the shoreline before leaving. Every improvement solved a mistake from an earlier attempt. Not every setback deserved a panic. Some were simply part of playing ARK. Later that evening, Krug made another mistake. This one belonged entirely to him.
We got fiber out. We're out of fiber again. Ooh, there's another level up. We're going to put this one in melee damage, I said. All right. Now we're getting to a point where I want this and this, but probably could have saved that. What was I thinking? That's a great question. What were you thinking? Very good question. Really dumb decision on that part. Okay. Really dumb decision there.
He unlocked the wrong Ingrams. Mortar and pestle, narcotics, useful, eventually. Just not yet. In Survivorman, every Ingram point matters. Choosing one thing usually means waiting longer for something else. Those little decisions rarely ruin an attempt by themselves, but over time, they shape
the night is going to settle in.
Night settled over the swamp as work
and we
continued.
will have made it night one.
Wood slowly replaced the remaining thatch. For the first time, the shelter felt strong. Then Ephiomia wandered into the area. Finally, a chance for more hide.
Dang it. I missed 3 times, and now he's running away with my arrows. Oh, wait, here he comes.
Krug resisted the temptation to chase it immediately. Earlier attempts had already taught him how blind pursuits usually ended. Patience paid off.
I don't know why my heart is beating so fast. Where the heck you go? Is that really?
11 arrows later, it disappeared into the swamp anyway.
That's a great way to lose.
Sometimes the punishment for a bad
20
decision
arrows
isn't
really
death.
fast.
Sometimes it's wasting every arrow you own. Back to the hut, work continued. Every improvement demanded another trip into the trees. Every trip into the trees meant walking a little further than the one before it. That was the hidden cost of making progress. The safer area around the base slowly disappeared because Krug had already harvested everything nearby. Eventually, success itself became the reason he had to take bigger risks. Still, this attempt felt different. Not easier. More controlled. Krug checked the shoreline before leaving. Used the roof to study the area. Paid attention to where the predators were instead of simply reacting when they appeared. A dire bear stayed across the water. The Sarco continued patrolling further down the swamp. Knowing where they were didn't make Krug safe, but it gave him options. Morning arrived. Day 2, a level 13. For the first time since the challenge began, it was difficult not to feel optimistic. This was further than any previous attempt. The shelter was growing. The strategy was working. Even the swamp was beginning to feel predictable. Then came one more trip for wood. The same trip Krug had already made dozens of times.
You know, a low-level bear from my third-story hut I could take out.
The dire bear was still nearby.
Let's put him this way.
They had kept an unspoken agreement. Krug stayed away from the bear stayed away from Krug. It worked. Even now, looking back, I'm still not completely sure why I stepped closer. Maybe I thought the bear would move. Maybe I simply stopped respecting the distance. Whatever the reason, the mistake lasted only a second.
Oh no, what did I do? What did I do? I got too close.
The consequences lasted the rest of the challenge. The bear ended attempt 4. Looking back, the hardest failures aren't the ones you never saw coming. They're the ones where you can still point to the exact moment everything went wrong and know you had every chance to turn around.
Ouch.
Attempt 4 stayed with me a long time. Not because of the dire bear, because I knew better. After everything the swamp had taught us, we had thrown away our best attempt with one careless decision. There wasn't much left to learn from it. There was only one thing left to do. Try again.
Dang it. Oh, that hurts. Oh.
Before spawning in, the plan was already set. Same location, same strategy, no more experimenting. The last shelter had proven the cliffside could work.
And so it begins. Attempt number 5.
Almost immediately, the swamp reminded Krug that no two attempts ever begin the same way.
Let's see what kind of spawn we have here. I cannot believe I got so close to that bear. That was so ridiculous. Oh, we got a snake. We gotta move.
A snake waited nearby. It wasn't close enough to change the plan, just close enough to make sure it was never forgotten. Work on the shelter began right away. The routine was familiar by now. Gather resources, craft what we needed, build a little more, repeat. The routine hadn't changed. Krug had. Every little mistake carried more weight than it had before. Even an accidental level up mattered.
We're going to try to do this stuff up here. All right, this one's going in fortitude. Oh my god, it pushed me into crafting. Why does it do that?
A point intended for fortitude landed somewhere else instead. It wasn't enough to ruin the attempt, but it was another reminder that survival is usually decided by small mistakes, not dramatic ones. Slowly, the shelter climbed the cliffside again. Each wall, each ceiling, and each new level solved the problem from one of the earlier attempts. The goal wasn't just to rebuild, it was to rebuild better. The swamp eventually grew quiet. Not safe, just quiet.
Something making me feel uneasy. It's too quiet. There's not enough over here trying to kill me right now. It's too quiet, making me feel uneasy.
Krug would check every window before leaving the hut. Gather what we needed, return home. Checked again. By now, it wasn't paranoia, it was a habit. Eventually, the Sarco returned to its familiar stretch of shoreline.
Oh, there's that big alligator dude that cruises in this area. Couldn't possibly get that lucky, could I?
A microraptor appeared.
Yeah, see, that is a microraptor over there. You gotta be kidding me. That's new. Something I've not seen before in these parts. Microraptors. Well, I guess it's good the baryonyx is gone, but the raptor, that little microraptor thing, I think could cause a lot of problems for us real quick. That's a parasaur.
A parasaur even moved into the area.
There's some new things. You don't normally see parasaurs in the swamp. So what is happening? Microraptors, parasaurs, some new creatures down here to deal with.
The swamp never became predictable. The cast of characters simply kept changing. Krug's routine didn't. He kept gathering, he kept building, he kept improving the shelter one trip at a time. Before long, it felt like more than just a place to survive. It felt like a foothold. Then the swamp offered something unexpected.
This might be really dumb.
but it also might not be.
A dead baby Phioma. No hunting, no risk. Just meat, hide, and some prime meat to feel like a reward for paying attention. Sometimes surviving isn't about taking what you need. Sometimes it's about recognizing an opportunity when it appears.
That may have been huge for us.
The fire was lit. Food was secured. The next goal was obvious. Unlock the bow. Craft arrows. Keep building. Everything was finally starting to come together. Then Krug noticed something moving through the trees.
Uh-oh. We have an alpha. We have an alpha that just came into the mix. You gotta be kidding me.
At first, it was only a red glow. Then the shape became clear.
What is an alpha what?
From the safety of the hut, he watched it tear through the dire bears that had quietly kept this stretch of shoreline under control.
Come on, two bears. Take that thing down. That is an alpha raptor. In our... Oh, no.
In a matter of seconds, the entire area changed.
What are you doing? Oh, we're in big trouble. I bet you that kills us. That's what's going to be what ends us. It's going to be that alpha raptor.
There wasn't a fight to win. There wasn't a strategy to outplay. There was only one difficult realization.
That is an alpha raptor going to kill us.
The base had survived. The location had not. From that point forward, every trip outside ended
All
exactly
things
the
we
same
have not
way.
seen
Krug
before.
looked through the window. The alpha was still there.
Haven't seen microraptors, alpha raptors. That's big, bad. There's nothing we can do about that. That's going to kill us. I mean, it could be level 5. I couldn't take it. I mean, 2 bears just died to it. Attacking it at the same time. So let's just hope it makes its way long ways down that way. Let's just keep thinking about what we can do. Jeez, this is terrible.
Every plan started with the same question. Has it moved? The answer was always no.
We're just going to watch whatever battle pursues over there. We can't do anything right now. We can't go out there. We can't see what happens. It's just whatever is whatever it is.
The shelter had become everything Krug wanted. Strong, familiar, reliable. But none of those things mattered if he couldn't safely leave it. That was one lesson the earlier attempts had never taught him. Sometimes surviving means defending your home. Other times, surviving means knowing when to leave it behind.
No chance. I don't know what to do. I don't know if we make a run for it and try to build something, just run as far that way as we can and see what happens and regroup somewhere else. Or if we just stand here and hope and pray it goes away.
So Krug packed up his valuables, took one last look at the shelter, then he ran.
I don't know what we're doing, but we're abandoning that house.
As dust settled over the swamp, the escape became a series of small decisions.
Conserving our...
Run until something appeared, stop long enough to listen, choose another direction, keep moving.
Snake. And we're leaving the swamp area a little bit.
Snakes, a Sarco, another obstacle. The swamp seemed determined to escort him either to the edge or to his grave.
We're done.
Eventually, a large rock gave him one brief chance to catch his breath. For just a moment, it felt like the escape might actually work.
Hi.
Then a capo appeared out of nowhere.
Jeez Louise.
After a brief flight, 10-5.
Yep. Well, there's nothing else we could do. Too bad. So sad. That is the end of Survivorman. The swamp. I failed all of them. I feel terrible. Well, I guess I'm done. I don't know what. bad luck. I want another one. I want another shot at it, but that'd be cheating. I don't know. Maybe I'll take a 6 shot. Maybe I'll do one on stream. Who knows? That was just that was just terrible. I mean, I don't know what else to do. Where else to go? What else could happen? I don't know. That makes me angry. An alpha raptor comes down into the little area that I've been living in. Everything's good. If it doesn't come, I probably have a shot. If I don't touch the back of that bear, I have a shot. It's like every time I get close, I make a dumb mistake or ARK arcs me. I couldn't survive any of them. Carno, the redwoods, the swamp, none of it. All right, well, that's it. I'm done. I quit.